Okay, so welcome to this week's call. And my name is Jackie Boyle, and I live in Australia, just south of Sydney, on a beautiful coastline that I love to call home. And it is a beautiful piece of paradise. I'm a little bit biased, I must admit, but it is really beautiful, and it really does create a beautiful way of wanting to live life well. Like, it just puts you in that nice space. I firstly want to just ask people as you come on board if you can mute yourself if I don't get around to doing that for you. And just want to put an apology in for Dr. Ahrens. He's not going to be available for the next 3-4 weeks. So we're aiming to bring in some special guests to do some presentations and discussions and bring in some testimonials and still keep this going along whilst he is unavailable. So he puts his humblest apologies in. It's unavoidable. So we keep going because we're still spreading the word of health and wellness. So I'll get going straight away because today's topic is about healthy choices and living life better by what we choose to do with our diet, what we choose to do with our, our exercise, and how we choose to look at, how we think. That's the other aspect of it as well. So what we do, what we look at, and I'll try and open this up. So just bear with me. Here we go. So we do look at that, what are the effects of choosing healthy choices in regards to what we fuel our body with through our diet, how we exercise and the benefits of exercise for us, and thinking positively. Like, why? I mean, there's a lot of emphasis on having a positive mindset, but what is the real reason behind this? So, I ask you, and I want you to be interactive with this when I finish the end of this presentation, that do you understand that our body is the most valuable home that you can live in? Really think about that. Is the home that you live in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year for our duration in this lifespan? And do you have the key to unlocking the development of you? Because every single day really is a personal development of where we really work on our body as much as we possibly can. And manage your mindset. Manage your mindset towards developing a positive approach in healthier choices. And what does this actually mean? Like, what are we talking about? So I want you to think about fueling your body with food that will enhance and provide good nutrition to support a strong immune system. Service your body. I'll just try and see if we can get this organised. Service your body and stay active and keep moving and increase cardiovascular and muscular strength. So I'm not saying that you have to look like that you're going to be the Michelin man or woman. Muscular strength is going to help support you as you go through life, as you age, because you need to have the mobility to be able to get around and just do the simplistic things of getting in and out of a car, of being able to reach up to the cupboards in the kitchen. It mightn't seem like much, but I can tell you as you age and you mature, those little things become great things. They become important things. So just like a finely tuned race car, as I said, I like to think that I might be a Ferrari or a Maserati so that I can go fast and I can perform at my maximum. Our bodies require quality daily fuel and maintenance to function and operate at an optimum capacity. And what does that mean? The fuel is the food that we put in there. The maintenance is looking after your body. So if you need to go to and get a massage done, if you need to ensure that you're out exercising to make sure that the maintenance is clicking over in the body on a daily basis, it's really important to make sure that this body that we have, this finely tuned racing car that we have, is actually going to be functioning at the maximum capacity. So you decide how you feel. This is the thing when we start looking about our bodies and putting the relationship back to what we put into our body really does have a huge impact on how we feel. And, as we look at what's coming forward in front of us, in regards to where we're heading with the company, with Dr. Ahrens himself and his thought patterns behind health and wellness, what you think impacts how you actually feel. It's quite when you stop and think about it, If you're going to have a really negative approach towards something, you're really going to have a dark cloud over you all the time. So what you believe impacts what you think. And choosing a negative attitude attracts exactly that. But yet choosing a positive attitude attracts exactly that. So you are what you put out there. So I want to ask you, are you imprisoned in your own mind? You know, with your thoughts? Are they negative thoughts? Are they positive thoughts? Optimistic thoughts? Your visions, what are your visions for the future? Or do you actually even have any? And if you don't, you need to start writing them down, because it's important to have those along with some dreams for the future that you work towards, that you hope that you're going to reach, that you look forward to, because it creates a positive feeling within the body and a positive thought pattern within the mind to be able to look forward. So can you handle your mind? You know, the greatest gift is not our body. And some of you may think, what is she talking about? It is our mind and it's our hearts. Our body's there, it's a vessel, but it really is our heart and our minds that really do control our emotions and our thought patterns. So the power to choose a healthy, positive life, or to fuel our minds and our bodies with poor choices. You've got two choices there to be able to look at. So physically, you know, we are what we eat. And physically, we have a lot of energy sometimes because we feel fantastic. And why? Possibly because we've actually fueled our body really well and we're actually doing things to get mobile. You know, and whether that be our family situation, our work environment, just the things that we get out there to be able to do for ourselves. So emotionally, we start to feel a lot better. So what we actually bring into our world, what we nurture ourselves with and expose ourselves to, emotionally, we can have highs and lows. And there are many reasons why, whether that be through, unfortunately, through illness. Illness can make us feel emotionally down. Death is another one that really takes us on a huge roller coaster. And then on the other side, you have euphoria. Like, you have amazing things that happen. You fall in love, you have the birth of a child, the birth of a grandchild. You have all of these things that emotionally take you on this roller coaster that we call life. Then you know, the mental aspect of what do we do in regards to stimulating mental health, because it really is an important factor. And I'm going to touch base on that as we go forward. And then spiritually, I wanted to add this in here, but I really do not want to delve too much into this, because I believe everybody has their own belief system. Everybody believes in different things. Now, whether that be within God Almighty himself, through to other spiritual aspects in regards to where people draw the most strength from. And I think it's important to, just like politics can be quite a touchy subject, so can spirituality. But I believe it's a very key role to look at completing the whole jigsaw piece in our body. So if we start looking up the top here, and I want you to think about, I did a program when I was in my darkest time, to be honest, and it was called the Resilience Project, and this young man put it together, and it was a phenomenal program, and he lectures globally around the world. He was a teacher. He put it together because his sister was dying of anorexia, and he decided to take a trip to India and teach over there. And what he noticed with the little Indian children that he had in his class was that they were grateful for the little things. You know, they were grateful for the fact that they had a pair of shoes that only came up to the ball of their foot. Their toes were exposed over the ground still because they'd outgrown their shoes, but they'd taped them on their feet, and they were just grateful because they still had shoes. And just to be mindful of what people are going through, and yourself, more importantly, and have empathy not only for yourself, but for others as well, because we're not mind readers. We do not know what people are going through in life. But one thing that I did do personally myself, and I found extremely beneficial, was in my diary, and most of us use a diary, is to practice these both for others and most importantly for yourself. So acknowledge daily 3 positive things and write them down. And acknowledge 3 negative things in your day and write them down. And at the end of each day, write 1 positive wish or affirmation for the next day, because you're going to sleep with something positive in your mind. So, you've acknowledged the great things in your day, you've acknowledged the negative things, so you haven't got it sitting around and rolling over and over and over in your mind where you just can't process it. But if you write it down, the power of the mind, of writing something down and visually recognizing it, becomes phenomenal for the body. It's healthy for the body to be able to do that. So you are the author of your story. The beginning is a gift of life, I believe. The chapters are our own to create and edit as we live life, and the end is inevitable, but you get to choose to make it an epic finale, nothing left undone. And how do we do that? We stay healthy. We fuel our body with good food. We stay active. And how do you create this story of a lifetime? How do you live your best life? And what is the connection between our healthy choices and staying positive? Like, what is it actually? Having a flexible outlook. I believe that we talk about having a mindset. For me, that has never really resonated quite well with me, because I think that having it set in means to me that I'm setting something in concrete. I like to look at it as having a flexible outlook on life and being able to adjust and change as to how I think and what I do. So having two mindsets to choose from daily. And yes, it can be a puzzle to solve. We can either have a negative or a positive outlook. So let's look at your options as to what you can do with this. A fixed mindset. So it leads to a desire to look smart. And what does that actually mean? So we have challenges every day, don't we? And if we're trying to look smart, we avoid those challenges. We have obstacles and we can give up easily on those with a fixed mindset. Effort. We see effort as fruitless or worse. Criticism, we ignore the useful negative feedback because we have this fixed mindset. We have this it's my way or the highway outlook on things sometimes. And success of others, some people see it as a threat. When you have a fixed mindset, you can't see the positive in it. But when we look at a growth mindset, it leads to a desire to learn. So those challenges become something that you embrace by stretching. You stretch out into the world. You want to stretch out. You want to learn, have personal development. You think that anything is possible by being able to change how you think. And those obstacles then become something that you persist in the face of setbacks. It's just a challenge, so you jump into it. And the effort, you see effort as a pathway to mastery. You want to actually put the effort in because you can see that there's a vision, those dreams, they're worth chasing through an effort by having a growth mindset. Criticism, you learn from it. Okay, somebody gives you a slap in the face and they give you a reality check. You may like it, you may not, but learn from it. Don't look at it and think, it's such a horrible experience and I'm never going to be able to get through this. There's probably a lesson in there. So have a deep look at it and learn from it. And the success of others, like we're in the network marketing industry, for most of us here, we look forward to inspire and to teach others, but inspire and teach yourself while you're going through this as well, not just others. It's important to look after number one, and that is you. So the attitude of your thoughts determine your destiny. So think negative, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get a negative lifestyle happening around you. It's like a dark cloud just follows you everywhere you go, and you attract the same type of people. Think positive. People are drawn to you. They want to be around you because they think, what is that person on? Like, what are they doing? Like, why are they so happy all the time? I want to be around that person. And it's because they've got this positive outlook on life. So life follows your thoughts. So really think about it, because we've got a big opportunity ahead of us on the weekend. So edit your life often. So So edit your life often. Edit your fears. Have a look at what your fears are in life and try and address them. Why are you so fearful? Like, what is it that creates these fears in you, and what can you do to manage them? Recognize what your strengths are in life, because we all have them. And then recognize and acknowledge your weaknesses and work on them. Help somebody to get you through those weaknesses. Call on that third person to be able to give you the assistance to do that. Choose to see them, acknowledge them, and accept them. And change your mind. By changing your mind, you can change your world. It sounds quite corny, but it actually is true. If you can really change how you think and you can acknowledge what's going on in life, it can really change how you are as you move forward into each day. So picture your future in your mind now. What does it look like? What are you doing? How can you change it? What am I prepared to change? And I'm not just talking about how I mentally think here. I'm looking at my food. What do I fuel my body with each day? How do I feel today as opposed to yesterday? What did I fuel my body with yesterday that may have had me feeling substandard today? So what do I need to do to change? And what am I prepared to change? That's the big thing. So redefine yourself daily in your exercise, in your dietary intake, and emotionally and mentally on what you do to have that personal development there. I think this is always something that my husband has always said to me, that we are what we eat. And it is true. We really are what we eat. We feel how we think. We age due to our choices. And let me tell you, this is true. How many people, you'll see them age because, I'm not making any judgment here either, just quietly, but people that smoke, what happens to them? You can see that they age so much more quickly around the lines over their mouth. That's one of the things that you start to notice. Poor food choices. People age a lot more. They slow down in their mobility because they may be carrying excess weight. They've got a lot of inflammation in the body because they're making poor food choices. Their mobility becomes a lot less. They start to age a lot more quickly, as opposed to those people making great choices who have good food dietary intake and their mobility is great. It makes a huge difference in how we age. So our mobility is mostly due to our actions, what you choose to do on a daily basis in commitment. We truly are the conductor, the builder, the driver, the creator, and the designer of how we look, feel, and manage our bodies. Our dietary choices, our physical, mental, and emotional input and output play a key role on how you feel daily. One body, one life, you decide. So we can be the Superman or the Superwoman of our life and what we do with it. It really is up to us. So one of my favorite quotes, and I saw this actually in a doctor's surgery of all places, is invest time in your health before your health invests all of your time. None of us know how much time that we have on this life, in this life as we lead it now. We all know that we have a heartbeat and we need to protect that. And we know that it costs a lot of money to be sick. And I'd rather actually put a lot of money in living a better life as opposed to living a sick life, because it costs a lot more. I can personally tell you that. And I just want to thank you for this, because spreading hope and giving life a smile is something that comes through all of these things of fueling your body with a good dietary choices, getting active, getting mobile, but also putting things into play by being able to think positively. And how do we do this? There are little things called, looking into for positive quotes. They may be things that you read something, so it puts a positive thought pattern into there. Again, getting on to calls like this where you've got positive people around you, or you go and visit people that have got a positive outlook on life. Read a book that's going to inject that into you. Do things that make you feel good, because then they're going to make you have a positive outlook on life again. So that's sort of where I'm looking at with this today. It was really more about the power of the mind. It is about exercise and the importance of putting these three things together. We are what we eat. So those healthy choices really do matter. We are our mobility depends on what we do each day, like get up. And if it means you can only walk for the day, that is better than nothing. And then the other thing is to nurture how you think, because you can be the most active person under the sun. You can have the most amazing diet, and I mean a very clean diet. But if you've got a really negative outlook on life, you're going to really have a really tough time at everything. It won't matter. And it does have a huge impact. So I welcome people. Please unmute yourself. If you've got some input to put into here, I really welcome it, because I think it's a really important topic to to understand the power of the mind, and having a great diet and having and exercising daily creates a nice jigsaw that fits together in perfect unity to be able to live our life in the best way possible. So if anyone would like to unmute and add to this, I would welcome you.
Well, Jackie, looking around at the group here, I'm probably in that seniors category of all the people on the line right now. And we've been doing a lot of good things health-wise for many years. A lot of walking, physical exercise, good healthy diet, good supplementation. And it pays because, you know, when I look around at our peers, we're not seeing the same thing. So it's doing something consistently for a long period of time. And your quote was really good and made me think of one that I remember. It was a commercial on TV for an oil filter for a car, speaking of Lamborghinis. And it was the guy in a bib overhaul holding up this filter. He says, well, and it was an expensive filter. He says, you can pay me now or you can pay me later. And there's a car coming in on the tow truck that needed an overhaul because you didn't take care of the body or the car or the filter. So it's very appropriate what you're saying. We need to do all of those things in combination. When we do, we're going to have the best we can have for as long as God gives us.
I think so, Ron, and I'd like Kelly to unmute herself because I know that she's in the space of health and wellness, but you're exactly right, Ron, because we really need to nurture this body that we have, this most important piece of real estate that we could ever possibly wish for. So Kelly, can you unmute yourself and just put some input in, because I know this is a passion of yours too. I think you're in here still. You might have disappeared on me. Kelly Riggs, are you able to unmute yourself, or you might be at work too? I might have put her on the spot. So Kathy, are you able, Kathy Gregory, are you able, because I know this is an area that you have a lot of input into too.
Sure, I can just share one really big piece that has helped me so much in my journey, and I kind of liken it to self before sell. And I've been committed to that now for quite a few, like 2 years for sure, where I don't look at my phone. I don't respond to anything until after 8 o'clock in the morning. And so when I get up, I make sure that I actually write on my day timer. I have my miracle morning and my movement, my first 2 daily methods of operation. And so meditation is one of my huge things, and getting up and moving my body, getting my fresh air and my walks. And then that's just really, you just got to start your engine the right way and having that mindset. And so that would be my input tonight, Jackie, is part of the wellness journey. There's, you know, the Valentis has an amazing way of helping us with our engine, but as far as our mindset goes, you got to start the right way. So
yeah, no, thank you, Kathy, and I know you're I watch what you do, and Pal, I'm going to get you to unmute yourself very shortly, but when you start looking at people's their social media, you can really get a good vibe on people's social media by what they're posting, except for my bad humor, I must admit. But outside of that, you know, you get a really good insight into somebody, how they're feeling by what they're posting. It's quite amazing. So what you're putting out there is what you attract. So Pal, do you want to put some thoughts into this for me today?
Sure. Sorry for covering my face, okay, because I'm not in a good position, but I can share some thought here. Man, it's a great stuff, Jackie, tonight that you're sharing, you know, but it's really important that we have a positive mindset. Basically, you know, in Valentis here, you know, we to survive in Valentis, you gotta have a toughness mindset and a physical toughness as well, because the product that gonna, you know, make you tough in the physical. But mental toughness, gonna take you a long way, because personal development, you have to do it daily, and you have to be affirmative. Waking up from the morning, that's how you're gonna make your day go through, how you're gonna survive, and you're waking up from your bed every morning. You have to be positive. If you have you know, if you turn on TV and you run to the negative news, your day gonna be wrecked. Okay, but what I'm saying is on my page on the Facebook, I always that's what I do daily. You know, practice, and you know that's become your habit. Daily, you have to read at least 5 to 10 minutes of your time. That's gonna create your habit. You know, I mean, success is a daily routine. That's what John C. Maxwell. So I'm a student of his work and his book, and that's only the book that I pretty much applied and read, and that's all I can say right now. Thank you, Jackie. Let other person share. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pal. And Kathy Gustafson, would you like to unmute yourself? Because I'll just add to Pal is that we are a student of life. You know, we're learning every single day when we wake up, and we get the gift and the grace of God that we actually get to see another day and experience it. So we shouldn't waste it. So Kathy, would you like to put your thoughts into this, please?
Yeah, I sure would. I am very observant every time I'm in a new place to work or a new group of people to be with. In my life, I worked with young people, teenagers, little guys, then teens, then singles. And then I found myself about 17 years ago working at a retirement community. So I've had some really amazing experience with every age group. And the one thing I can tell you is that for sure that happens to all of us is we all age. You're never going to stay a teenager forever. We are all aging, and the question is going to be that I've asked myself as I've worked with these different groups is, how are you going to age? Will you age well? And what will that look like? When I worked with my senior citizens, when I first started, they told us, the gentleman who built the place that I worked at, said he told his mom, don't come here to die, come here to live. Live life to the fullest. And so it kind of it got me on fire on the inside, that every morning I would get up and I would help these folks who helped build our country and who gave us so much, that I would light the fire on the inside of them to keep living life well. Because the fact is we all go through things that can cause us to crash and can keep us in a place of feeling like we don't have hope. So when you retire, there's a lot of loss that goes with that. You downsize, you get rid of a lot of your memories, and pretty soon you start feeling like there's nothing left for you to do. But there is. And the good news is I got to help people go from depression to purpose, because I had belief in them that there was still a dream on the inside of them. And I love what Kathy Gregory says. She said, and Kathy, you may have to correct me because you say it so well, don't die with your music still in you. And I guess tonight, Jackie, as I'm listening to you, you're giving us some practical things. You know, there is a wheel of wellness, and you're hitting on that wheel of wellness. There can be more things that you do in the wheel of wellness. When I first got started, there were 5 things, then they made 7 things. So you were touching on so many wonderful points tonight. And it would be my encouragement, you know, when I got into Valentis, I didn't realize what a wonderful place it was until I tore down some of those mindsets that I couldn't do it, that I wasn't valuable to this company. And really, it's not the company, it's the people that I cross paths with that I'm valuable to. And the more I learn, the more I plug in, listen to the people who know more than I do in network marketing. The more I listen to them, I'm finding my voice. Patty Zoshek said to me, when you discover who you are in this company, you're going to be unstoppable. And that was the lifeline I needed when I first got started in Valentis. So I believe with all my heart that this group of people has got so much potential. And so thank you for tonight. I think that the health thing is to recognize that there is a journey in life, and every season that we're in, there's something that we need to learn so the people coming up behind us can live life well too, and maybe avoid some of the potholes that we hit. Thanks,
Yeah.
Jackie.
My pleasure, Kathy, and thank you so much for your insight. I've got enough time for one person if they did want to unmute themselves, but otherwise we'll finish this call up on a note of looking at just realizing just the gift that we do have. You know, we've got the gift of life, and you do not have to look very far. I will say Dr. Ahrens has asked me over the journey that I've known him, where he has given me the gift of life. By being able to give me life back and live life well through primarily Emulan. But it created and it ignited within me the things that I already knew that I'd stopped practicing because life became just so difficult, and I had this dark cloud just sitting over the top of me because life was such a challenge, physically, mentally, and emotionally. That now I look at it and I think that he says, how come you can stay so positive all the time? I said, because I don't have to look very far. I've been in so many hospitals all of my life, unfortunately, but you can look into the next room and that next room may be vacant the next day. You know, I'm still here, you know, so I think that every day that I can look at the roses and I'm not looking at the roots of the roses, it's a gift. And I don't want to waste that gift by being able to get out and live my life well. And the only way I can do that is through my diet, through my, can't get it, but my exercise, and also through my, positive thinking, to be able to do that, because it just nurtures all of those aspects in life. And we have a menu of excellence that we're all sitting in underneath. You know, we have these menu of products that we can add to our dietary choices, to our exercise program that we're doing, and to our mental well-being. The products that we have are just amazing. Like, there's a menu of excellence underneath this company, and it's only going to get better on the weekend. So, you know, you can choose to add to if you want to, but get back to the basics and really try and put out there who you want to attract back. So just in life in general, the friends that you want to bring into your life, you know, how you want your family to respond to you, because you see families that become disjointed. Why? They can't let go of those negative experiences or negative emotions, or they don't have the ability to be able to find forgiveness. You know, there's a sticking point there somewhere, and they've forgotten about the important things in life of saying, hey, I'm sorry. Even if I wasn't at fault, I'm sorry, because I just want to live life well. And bring family and unity back together. And then you attract, you know, your family want to be around you. Your friends want to be around you. And then in the business world, people want to be a part of you because you're this, you know, you're this positive person that's something that they can see some worth in. Because why? You see worth in yourself. And that is something that I really want to leave you with. So I hope that you have all got something from this today. I'm going to try, because Dr. Ahrens is away, as I said, that we try and focus on a lot of testimonials as much as we can, because I think as we go forward that there's a lot of stories out there that we haven't even heard yet. And I'd love to be able to do that. So if people have got testimonials, and I'll reach out to certain people to be able to do presentations on different topics. If you've got things that you would like to suggest, please do, because this isn't about us. This is about you and providing what we can in the health and wellness of life. Like, we really are looking at life. So I want to thank each and every one of you. For those that spoke on here tonight, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, because it means a lot to have you here. And on behalf of Dr. Ahrens, he did want to say he is sorry he can't be here, but he's very grateful that you still turn up and you are a part of this group. So I hope you have a great evening. Make sure you jump onto the call tonight. I believe Kenny Gates is on there. I was talking to him earlier, so he's a bit excited about what he's got to talk about. And yeah, if you haven't already registered, make sure you register for Saturday, because there's lots of exciting things happening. So have a great one, everybody. And thank you so much for joining me. And hopefully you got something from this, from what you saw and from what you heard from everybody as well. Okay, thank you.